हाँ, तो हम लोग क्या बात कर रहे थे? We were talking about solar energy. Okay.
Energy, yes.
Yeah. So the way we are going, okay. The way we are going, definitely हमारा जितना भी oil reserves है, जितना भी coal reserves है, जितना भी natural resources है, we are going to finish off everything, right? It is only a matter of time when the so-called oil-rich countries will no longer be very rich. The coal reserves of India is anyway diminishing. Okay, so definitely the future is wind and solar, जो कि हमको भगवान ने दिया है. I think solar is the future. Okay, already गवर्नमेंट काफी सब्सिडीज दे रही है सोलर इंस्टॉलेशन के लिए. अगर आप देखो फैक्ट्रीज वगैरह जो है वो सोलर पावर में चल रहे हैं, उनके ऊपर सोलर पैनल्स लगा हुआ है एंड फैक्ट्री पूरा सोलर से चल रहा है. इवन हाउस होल्ड्स, अभी जो कॉम्प्लेक्स में हम लोग हैं यहाँ पर, एंड काफी लोगों ने सोलर लगवाया है. एंड उसमें क्या है कि इट कीप्स ऑन चार्जिंग एंड देन यू हैव अ बैटरी एंड देन आपका जो बिल है इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का वो रिड्यूस हो जाता है. सो आई थिंक गाड़ी भी जो हो गया आजकल सोलर वाली गाड़ी आ रही है एंड इलेक्ट्रिकल गाड़ी आ रही है, मगर इलेक्ट्रिकल गाड़ी का भी जो चार्जिंग होगा वो तो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी से होगा, और इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के लिए वंस अगेन कोल की जरूरत है, फॉसिल फ्यूल की जरूरत है, राइट? सो मेरे हिसाब से लाइक यू वेरी राइटली सेड, ओके, इट्स अ विशियस सर्कल. ओके, कि अल्टीमेटली अगर हम लोग अगर इलेक्ट्रिक कार भी चलाते हैं तो are we really helping the cause of putting less burden on natural resources, or we are anyway using fossil fluids? अगर गाड़ी को इलेक्ट्रिक भी बनाते हैं तो उसको चार्ज करने के लिए तो लगेगा नहीं इलेक्ट्रिक, एंड इलेक्ट्रिक को बनाने के लिए हमको कोल लगेगा which is a fossil fluid. तो अल्टीमेटली इम्पैक्ट ऑन द रिसोर्स इज देयर. ऑयल से कम होके कोल में आ रहा है या इलेक्ट्रिसिटी में आ रहा है. सो वंस अगेन ओवरऑल इन्वायरमेंटल सस्टेनेबिलिटी का जहां तक सवाल है, okay, it is definitely not really helping or solving a problem. So solar मेरे हिसाब से is the future where sustainable future, because आपका generation में by the time you grow up and you start living life as an adult, okay, I think solar will be more accepted as an energy source. इससे क्या है कि sunlight तो रहेगी, okay, वो तो जाने वाली है नहीं, okay. And we will use the power of sunlight to generate energy, because otherwise अभी अब देखो the whole economy was on oil. अगर आप देखो यूक्रेन और रशिया में जो प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, the main global point is oil, crude oil, right? So the whole world economy एक तरह से crude oil के ऊपर काफी dependent है, because transportation is very important in today's world. Talking about transportation also, yeah.
If you remember last year, a ship blocked the Suez Canal, so that उससे पूरा oil का transport बंद हो गया था. Oil के price had been raised to 100 and 200, 100 and 110 around that. So I think that we are, like you also said, we are living in a unsustainable world, and solar will get us near that world. But I think solar also has its problems, like if someday it's cloudy or rains, so we can solar.
Okay, so that's a temporary mechanism. अगर cloudy हो गया या बारिश हो गया, रोज तो नहीं होता है ना. Ultimately,
I think we have to have the both things. Like we don't have, if we exhaust it, we don't have to exhaust it. We have to keep it as a other solution. But we have to give हमें जो सोलर एनर्जी है उसको ज्यादा वी हैव टू टेक इट एज अ परमानेंट सोल्यूशन, एंड कोल को एक टेम्पररी सोल्यूशन रखना है कि अगर कभी इट्स क्लाउडी फॉर लाइक 10 days, because solar energy I think it cannot be charged for more than 10 days. कभी ऐसा हो गया in monsoon seasons, I think it would be happening because climate change है, extreme temperatures हो जाएंगे. So उस time पे we can have it as a backup plan, coal.
Yeah, so coal can definitely be a backup plan. I also let me also one sec. Ravi is joining. Who's my good afternoon, sir? Mr. Ravi, can you hear me, Ravi? Ravi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Ravi, let me introduce you to Vansh, okay, who's Dr. Ritu's son, right? Vansh, Ravi is my Sala. He's my wife Namita's younger brother, and he's also into fighting for the cause of child motivation and working on future generations. And he has also, tried to motivate in the younger generations into, becoming successful. So Ravi, today हम लोग का आज का topic of discussion था climate change and environmental sustainability. हम लोगों ने आज से ये initiative शुरू किया. This is the first day of our initiative. And Vansh is someone who spends a lot of time reading, listening to videos, and has a perspective about everything. हम लोग का जो series of talks है, इसका नाम है Intergenerational Dialogues, where he is 12 years old, almost 13. He'll be becoming 13. कब तुम्हारा birthday कब है Vansh?
June 30th.
Yeah, so he'll be 13 years old. I'm 53. There's a 40-year gap between us. So we'll use this opportunity and this platform to talk about various aspects. He has highlighted the concern of how this generation of us is not, giving due focus on environmental sustainability and climate change, and how, because of our carelessness, his generation will be affected. So that's a very, very serious, not allegation, but serious concern that he's raised about how we should be more responsible in our generation to leave a world behind which is more sustainable, which is more safer, and which is better to live. हम लोग आज गंदगी करके चले जा रहे हैं, कल उनको सफाई करना पड़ेगा as far as the environment is concerned. So these are some of the topics we'll be discussing. I had met him in Delhi a couple of days back, and we decided to start this talk series where we'll be discussing issues pertaining to the future, the generation, sustainability, and overall social issues and other topics of interest, which will be affecting the generation. So today we जब भी आपने log in किया है, तो he was talking about the importance of solar energy and solar power as far as the future is concerned. आप एक जगह बैठ जाओ, you are moving around. Ready? So I'm a big fan of Vansh in terms of his knowledge levels and in terms of his ideas and views as a student, and he's like a student advocate, kind of the voice of the students in terms of raising up. आपने क्या word use किया था? We have to wake up the senior
we have to wake
people.
up the other generation. Like we know what we have to do, but the other generation, we have to wake them up. Because we can do as much as we can. We are limited, but the generation which is ruling right now, that is your generation. So we want to wake up your generation and to get your generation into this and make this a mass movement.
Yeah, so he was also emphasizing the importance of solar energy, because अभी क्या है कि जितना भी fossil fuel का जो reserves है, whether it is oil or coal, okay, इसका जो natural reserves are diminishing, and it's the responsibility of us, which is the current generation, to ensure that once again we do not deplete the resources for the future generations, and also look at alternative energy sources as far as energy levels are concerned. So once again, he highlighted the importance of solar. Once I think I was traveling in Europe, and वहाँ पर मैंने देखा the use of wind. इंडिया में wind क्यों नहीं use होता? Because solar तो panel है, wind क्यों नहीं होता इंडिया में use?
I think wind, it is not sustainable. मेरे को जो लगता है, I feel wind is not sustainable. Sometime there is wind, sometime there is not. But sunlight, I think sunlight should be used. Like I think use तो sunlight का ही होना चाहिए mostly. And European, maybe the climate has a role to play over there.
हाँ, तो
Because
जब
India is
Holland is known for windmills, okay, and वहाँ पर क्या है कि overall the so-called climate is very windy, so there's a lot of wind in the air, so they use the power of wind. But India has kind of a hot tropical climate, so India can use the power of solar.
we have
right?
more sunlight. Right? We have to use the power we have. We have the power of sunlight right now because we are near to the equator, so that's why we have a lot of sunlight, so we can use solar.
इंडिया में फिर सोलर यूज क्यों नहीं हो रहा है आपके हिसाब से? अभी भी हम लोग ऑयल यूज कर रहे हैं, अभी भी हम लोग
अभी आई थिंक ये इसलिए हो रहा है, लाइक बिग फैक्ट्रीज दे आर यूजिंग सोलर, बट द household are not making the transformation because solar panels, they cost a lot. They're not seeing the benefit. Like electric cars में भी जितना electric cars का buying प्राइस है दैट इज मोर देन द फ्यूल. तो अगर अभी देखोगे देन यू विल हैव अ प्रॉब्लम लाइक पैसे देने पड़ेंगे एंड दिस एंड दैट. बट बाद में अगर आप देखो तो पेट्रोल में तो आपको लॉस ही होएगा ना. यू विल गो इन लॉस कि जितना आप चलाओगे उतना ज्यादा प्राइस पड़ेगा. तो आई थिंक द प्रॉब्लम इज द स्टार्टिंग प्राइस कि सोलर पैनल लगाने का दैट प्राइस इज हाई.
तो बट देन इंडिया में तो गवर्नमेंट सब्सिडी दे रही है, तो आपके हिसाब से नॉर्मल हाउस होल्ड्स, आप बोल रहे हो कि फैक्ट्रीज वगैरह में या इंडस्ट्री वगैरह में सोलर का यूज हो रहा है मगर नॉर्मल हाउस होल्ड्स में नहीं हो रहा है, तो डू यू थिंक कॉस्ट इज अ फैक्टर? बिकॉज इंडिया में अफोर्डेबिलिटी इज वेरी लेस, लोग नॉर्मल बिजली का कॉस्ट ही अफोर्ड नहीं कर पाएंगे, राइट? एंड इनफैक्ट इन बिजली का जो एजेंडा पॉइंट इज बिकमिंग एन इलेक्शन विनिंग एजेंडा पॉइंट. आज केजरीवाल जी ने दिल्ली का इलेक्शन जीता है बाय गिविंग फ्री इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. ओके, तो ये जो मुद्दा है, तो भाई हमको तो बिजली सरकार से फ्री मिल रही है. आई थिंक वी हैव समवन एल्स हु इज ज्वाइनिंग. लेट मी सी हु इज ज्वाइंड. वन सेक. Hello, I can see MT2111. Who's that? Miss MT2111. Can you hear me? MT2111. MT2111. Can you please identify yourself?
MT2111. I can't see your face.
हाँ बोलो.
Oh,
MT2111. Can you
Namita,
please
nice.
identify
Can you
yourself?
please switch on your video?
MT2111. Can you please identify yourself? Hello. MT2111 is not identifying.
I think we have lost her.
Anyway, so it just I mean हम लोग का जो इतना serious बात हो रहा है, okay, I want people to join seriously in this group, right? है ना Vansh? Because otherwise your flow of thoughts will go away. So I think for the last 1 hour we'll be discussing हम लोग क्या करेंगे. We will try and make it more inclusive, okay, so that we can get other people's perspective. So Ravi, what do you think is your perspective in terms of the current crisis? Like Vansh ने सही बात बोला है. It is no longer climate change, it is a climate crisis. All of us, we have to think this as a crisis and act upon. Because हम लोग खाली अपने घर की चार दीवारी के अंदर ही सोच के रह रहे हैं, but we are living in a global world. आज कोविड में क्या हुआ कि because of the global happenings हम लोग सफर कर रहे हैं. घर में तो सब अच्छा है हमारा, तो हम लोग जिस घर के लिए काम करते हैं, घर के लिए हम लोग पढ़ाई लिखाई हो या घर का डेकोरेशन हो या अपना कपड़ा लत्ता हो, वो घर के लिए करते हैं. मगर बिकॉज ऑफ द ग्लोबल हैपनिंग्स वी आर ऑल इम्पैक्टेड. सो वी नीड टू थिंक बियॉन्ड आवर रिस्पेक्टिव हाउसहोल्ड्स एंड थिंक अबाउट अ ग्लोबल फैमिली or a global community, and we need to have a broader perspective in terms of living life. So you have any thoughts, Ravi, on this?
See, as far as the thought is concerned, ये सारा जो क्या है ये हमारे हाथ में ही है. What we want to do it. अब things have become extremely bad of late. Everybody is living for themselves. कि next generation, now people have become selfish. By nature, they have become selfish. They are living for today. They don't care what is going to happen to the next generation.
So once what needs to be done, like Ravi is very right. You as a today's student, okay, who is concerned about tomorrow, and the adult, they're not bothered. They're selfish. They're only concerned about making money, and they're only concerned about themselves and their being and their house and their family and their future. And it is very, very selfish world. So like you said, हमको क्या करना चाहिए? हम लोग को how can you wake up the people? I think what a very important point that he also mentioned, I'll just summarize the whole conversation, is the role of government in terms of identifying the agenda. हमारा agenda point क्या है? No one, government का तो agenda में भी नहीं है climate change. I mean, कम से कम स्कूल कॉलेज ठीक है, एजुकेशन एजेंडा में है, मगर क्लाइमेट चेंज इज नॉट इवन इन द एजेंडा कि भाई हमको क्लाइमेट चेंज करना है या हमको कुछ सस्टेनेबल फ्यूचर करना है या ऑल्टरनेटिव एनर्जी हमको लाना है या हमको सोलर में फोकस करना है. इट इज देयर इन सम बुक, इन सम पॉइंट हियर एंड देयर, बट नो वन इवन टॉक्स अबाउट दैट. एक कॉमन आदमी को, आम आदमी को इसके बारे में मालूम भी नहीं है कि what is global warming and what is climate change and what is environmental sustainability, right? So this is where, through such platform हम लोग क्या करेंगे, discuss करेंगे, and such platform will be available for everyone to give your views, thoughts. थोड़ा हम लोग it is called individual advocacy. We will do, individual advocacy to try and promote these concepts. And especially if it comes from a young person like Vansh, who is an advocate for such causes, I think all of us, we have to encourage him, we have to motivate him, and we have to be with him, okay, and support him so that, he is able to act as a catalyst for change, or he is able to act as, kind of a trigger for change in the future. Okay, I think MT2111 still has not identified. So I think that's all for now. I think once we've had a good discussion today, would you like to sum it up?
Yeah, so I think climate change, it is, we can first talk about how it is caused. It is caused about because of the greenhouse gases which are released by us only, which we need to stop. For that we have to, like the younger generation, they are trying their best, they are doing their trying to tell to their tell to their parents, they're trying to awaken. But us you as a bigger generation, the ruling generation right now, we want to awaken you, that is from the smaller generation.
Okay. So what we'll do is that we'll try and have this session every week. Next week का जो session है, we'll try and kind of also touch upon some very, very crucial point. ये session is also getting recorded, and portions and excerpts of the session, okay, will be put up on a YouTube channel, which is going to be, on this cause. It is going to be known as Intergenerational Dialogues, where we will have, people of different generations join in. I will also encourage, yeah, please. Boliye.
See, I had a group discussion I think a year back on this topic. So I have a few articles which are there, few newspaper cuttings are there. So what I would suggest, if we can make a WhatsApp group, and therein I will share all the articles. So when we meet next time, when we discuss next time, we will have more points to discuss, and we would also want Aryan and Aditya and Narav and Annar to join the discussion. So if we can just form a group, I will share those articles in that group. And so when we connect next time, we can discuss the same.
Absolutely. And also, I think Vansh has got some very, very interesting topics that he wants to be discussed. And these are very, very pertinent and very, very important topics that he wants to basically, like he said, awaken this generation so that we can act upon this crisis. Climate change and environmental sustainability was recommended by him. It is his topic. Okay. So the topic, let the topic be chosen by this generation, by the younger generation. We have a responsibility to answer their question, because उनका जो question है, उसके बारे में हम को जवाब देना है, and we have an obligation, we have a responsibility to be answerable to this generation, because we just can't be leaving behind a dirty world. हम लोग घर गंदा करके चले जाएंगे and उनको बोलेंगे आप सफाई करके रहो इसमें. That's not right. So our job is to ensure that we do not mess up the whole world that we are living in, so that the world is a beautiful place for the future generation. I think we've got MT2111 raised his or her hand. That person still hasn't identified himself. So I think in the interest of safety of all, I'll have to disconnect that person. Okay, because either you identify yourself or you will be disconnected, because it's a privacy issue also, because we can't have, people who are hacking into our session and taking the content of the session, which is a very important content. So MT2111, can you identify yourself, please? I think MT2111 is raising hand, but I think I have to remove. So sorry about that. ठीक है, so that's all for now. So Ravi, what we'll do is that हम लोग future में और थोड़ा preparation के साथ करेंगे. Today was like an icebreaker, Vansh, and thanks so much for your initiation. It is because of your interest. It is because of your initiation that we have actually, started this session. Ravi, just to give you a brief context or a background, I was in Delhi and I had a lot of, discussion with him, and काफी देर हम लोगों ने बातचीत किया, काफी travel किया, lunch में खाए, साथ में खाना खाया, and I really liked, the concepts and the ideas that he has, which is very, very unseen and unheard of at his age. Of people who are busy cycling and playing cricket and talking about, movies and talking about sports. I found the whole thing very welcoming and very encouraging that, boy of his age, is discussing this thing. So we actually decided to start off a platform, a discussion forum, and, where we would talk about such common topics of interest, which is going to be common for us and for him as far as his future life is concerned. So once again, thanks for joining in. And Vansh, any, closing comments that you have?
Yes, I don't have anything to say now.
Yeah,
I've already,
you've
but
said
I
everything.
think I can yes, I can say we need to do something right now to save the generation. If we don't do it right now, we are into the emergency. And as per the human nature, we like to do things at the last moment.
Yeah,
So
so
we need
जब
to do it.
जब जब घर में आग लग जाएगी, जब तभी हम लोग उसको बुझाएंगे. आग लगने वाली है, हमको मालूम है कि आग लग जाएगी कल. And actually, literally, global warming is all about, warming the whole environment, and आग लग चुकी है. In fact, okay, there is no, such time to act upon कि भाई अभी वक्त आ गया है. I think वक्त आ चुका है, okay, and पहले ही आ चुका है, and as a world, we are not rising to this occasion, because we are busy fighting, the current challenges of COVID and about war and everything. These are all disasters that we are handling, but then, global warming is a long-term, bigger problem beyond disasters, and we need to have a greater eye and a more intense look at the whole thing. So once again, Ravi, thanks for your time. And
but do form the WhatsApp group so that we can share the articles and we can
yes. तो ये जो व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप जो है ना हम लोग का डिस्कशन टाइम्स, ओके, उसी में हम वंश को भी ऐड कर लेते हैं, राइट?
Perfect. Yeah, that's a good.
So we have a discussion group, where we discuss these topics, and we have, we discuss success stories also. There are a lot of, Ravi's got a lot of good success stories in terms of trying to inspire the new generation to do something beyond just, study and beyond just work. I think a lot of good success stories are there, and we can listen or we can read those success stories and get inspired and do something more meaningful in life, which is beyond just studying and getting marks and getting a job and doing some business, right?
Yes.
ठीक है?
Of course.
Chalo, I think your papa also joined, Vansh.
So you add him, I'll share the same in that group.
Huh?
You add him.
Yeah. Sure.
You add him, I'll just share those articles in that group.
Done. Chalo, thanks, Vansh, and thanks for your time. Thanks, Ravi, for your time.
Bye.
We'll be in touch, okay? And we'll make a difference.
We'll
And together,
next week again.
Together, like I said,
With more participants.
Individually we can make a difference, but together we can make a change, right? On that note, thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.